So here's a question on absolute values and inequalities. This is a tough topic in GMAT, and there are different ways to do absolute value questions. One of the approaches is a distance approach, and one approach which I usually have seen is the algebraic approach. So I'm going to try to use both. So just to kind of highlight how to do it. If absolute value of x is greater than 5, what this means is on the number line, if 0 is here, x is 5 units, more than 5 units away from 0. So either x is to the right hand side of 5, that's where x is, or it's on the left hand side of -5. Right? Okay, so these are the two zones where x is present, and that is the information given. Question is absolute value of x minus 5 equal to 5 minus x? Now, you can do this in a distance way, but one thing to notice is that in this question, they're just asking us whatever is the input. What is the input? Input is x minus 5. Input is x minus 5. I'm just going to write this. Input is x minus 5, and the output they're asking, is the output going to be 5 minus x to this absolute value function, right? So basically, what is the relation between these two terms, x minus 5 and 5 minus x? These are just, the input is basically negative of the input is equal to the output, right? So in an absolute value function, when does the output come to be negative of the input? This happens when your input is negative. Right. So when your input is negative, now since if you look at the range where x is on the number line, let's take a look at more than 5. More than 5, if you take any value of more than 5, x minus 5, the input will always be positive. So therefore, it's actually straightforward question. It's not tricky. The question is basically just asking you, is x negative? So the way I look at it is, first you have to look at the question, and using the distance approach or variable approach, you need to first simplify the question. So this question basically just boils down to, is x negative? Yes or no? That's the answer we want to. That's the question we want to answer. So I know it takes like 1.5 minutes just to analyze the question, but that's what it's going to help, because now we're going to run through the statements really fast. Statement 1 says that basically negative x cube is positive. Alright, so if negative x cube is positive, what does this mean? This basically means that x cube has to be less than 0. Which then means x is less than 0 and x is negative. So can we answer the question based on this statement? Yes, first statement is sufficient. Similarly, second statement. Okay, I'm going to not be stingy with my space. I'm going to actually move to the next slide. Second statement says that x to the power 5 is less than 0, which means x to the power 5 is negative. It's an odd power. Similar to the first statement, this also tells you that x is less than 0, so it helps you answer the question. So the second statement is also sufficient. The answer is D. Both statements are sufficient.